Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Yes, some of you already noticed, but we do have a new camera, so we're trying to update the quality of the videos, the quality of the sound, just to continuously improve to serve you a little bit better. If you have any requests for future videos, also make sure to leave them in the comments down below and we'll get to work on it. For today's practice, we are going to work on the heart chakra and opening the heart space. Now you need a few props, a rolled up blanket, a bolster or any other big pillow, and some blocks. We are going to start on our backs today, and we are going to start with a rolled up blanket. Now roll it up nice and tight, and then we can place it over the length of the spine. And then allowing our body to kind of relax down on towards the blanket. And it's just a very gentle back bend. Now to start with, the feet can come wide and the knees can fall together, just to feel out into the lower back a little bit. Notice how it feels. And allowing the body to soften here. Like I said, today we are working with the heart chakra, the Anahata Chakra. And this chakra moves us from doing into being. Being with your breath, being in your body, and it takes us on a journey to awareness. Awareness of what is going on in the body, in your precious heart. And our heart chakra is connected to the air element. And what a beautiful bridge we can make here. From air to the breath. Can you become aware of the breath? And how it flows in and how it flows out of the body. Taking about 5 more deep breaths here. on your next exhale, you can slowly prop yourself up on towards the hands, the forearms, the elbows, and make your way up into a seat. We're going to move the blanket aside, and we are going to switch the blanket out for your bolster or any other big pillow you have. You want this one to be slightly thicker than your rolled up blanket. Then from there, we are going to stretch both legs out for a moment. Sit up nice and tall. And then we're bending the right knee in and bringing the right foot out towards the sides. If this is really super uncomfortable for you, grab a block or another cushion and sit up there, and then maybe just lean back a little on towards the arms. This could be your pose, and that's perfectly fine. Keep the chest open there. Now, if you are comfortable in this posture, you might like to lean back all the way down on towards your pillow. And then if you do not really feel a stretch in the front of the thigh, you can just place the left foot down for a moment, scoop the tailbone up, and then keep it kind of pointing towards the end of the mat, and then placing the sit bones back down. Then you can stay here with the knee bended, or maybe you want to extend it back out, in whichever version you feel the stretch the most. And of course, if you stay seated, you can always still play around with the left leg. Do you want it to be extended, or do you want to bring it a little bit closer in towards the body? Eyes can close if that feels comfortable for you. And again here, the heart is open, the chest is open. And see if you can use every inhale as an invitation to become present in the moment, present with the breath. And every exhale can be used to relax the body slightly deeper into your pose. Every inhale can be used to experience more openness, more softness, creating inner space. And the exhale can be used to grow heavy and let go. Let go of whatever is no longer serving you. And create space for new moments and new sensations with the inhale. We're staying here with about 5 more deep breaths into the pose. And on your next exhale, you can slowly bring yourself back up on towards the forearms and back up into your seat. Gently bringing the hands towards the legs, straighten the right leg out in front of you. And maybe you want to take a moment, windshield wiper the legs. And just notice the difference between the left and the right leg. What sensations are more present in the right leg compared to the left? Just taking a moment, feeling it out. And then we're gonna switch sides. So if you were seated up on towards the block on the first side, see if you need it as well on this side. And then we're going to bend the left knee, bring it out towards the side. And then slowly lower yourself down on your prop if that's what you did on the first side. And that's achievable for you as well on the second side. And then see if you want to scoop the tailbone up slightly more to find a little bit of a deeper stretch towards the front of the thigh. And right leg can always be extended, or maybe you keep the knee up towards the sky, whatever works best for you. And then again here, we find our breath. And see if you can find that transition from doing into being. And see if you can find that softening with every exhale. And can you use that opportunity to let in something new, new sensations, a new moment with every inhale. And every inhale quite literally creates space. And with every exhale again, you quite literally let go. See if you can experience this for yourself. are again going to stay here for around 5 more deep breaths. And as soon as you're ready for it, we are going to prop our hands back up. And then we are going to bring the left knee back in. And again, taking a moment, notice what sensations are present. And then gently windshield wipering if that feels good. And then we're going to move a prop towards the side, but we're going to keep it close by. We're going to come on towards our belly. And we are going to be finding our Sphinx pose. Now, you can stay here in your regular Sphinx. Draw the shoulders away from the ears, and maybe you're able to pull the heart a little bit in between the hands just to find gentle bit more opening. Now, if you prefer to take this class a bit more restorative, you can bring your pillow underneath the chest and find your Sphinx pose here. Soften now. And finding your breath. You can look straight forward or maybe a little bit more down towards the front of the mat. And the arms, they are definitely doing a little bit of work to keep you up high. But can you allow the rest of your body to relax? Staying here for about 5 more deep breaths. And then slowly bring your hand, sorry, let me try that again. Slowly bring yourself slightly up and towards the hands, so you can move the proper side, if you were using any. And then making your way down, making a pillow of your hands and allowing the head to rest for a second. And then slowly lifting yourself back up. We're going to scooch the body ever so slightly towards the left so we can start to extend the right arm out. Then we are going to roll on towards the right side of the body. And this can be a really intense one, so feel free to ease out and lean more towards the left if needed. If you're quite okay here and it's quite comfortable for you, you might like to step the left foot over towards the right and maybe even reach the left hand back to interlace with the right one. But these are all options and progressions, so see where you feel the most comfortable. And I always like to have my head supported slightly here, so maybe you can bring a pillow or your blanket towards the head, just so it gets nice and comfy for the areas that can relax. You most likely start to feel this stretch towards the chest and the right shoulder. And again, like I said, feel free to ease out earlier if you need to. You're doing so great. Stick with the breath. Staying here for about 5 more deep breaths. And then on the next exhale, slowly release the interlace of the hands. And then we're going to bring our body back to center. Maybe taking a moment. Head can rest towards the hands or towards a pillow. Maybe the hands reach towards the side if the head is towards a pillow. Notice what difference you feel between left and right. And then we're going to frame the shoulders. Scoot yourself slightly towards the right. And this time extend the left hand out. Roll on towards the left side. And maybe the right hand reaches over to grab the left, and maybe the right foot steps over next towards the left. Finding your open wing here. And the stretch will be in the shoulder. So and the chest. But can the rest of the body relax? And of course there is a stretch in towards the shoulder and in towards the chest. But can the rest of the body relax? And holding it here for about 5 more deep breaths. And then on the exhale, we make our way back to center. And taking a moment, noticing difference between left and right. And then bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, pressing yourself back up to a seat. And then we're coming into our final pose before we move into Shavasana. So you want to grab your 2 blocks. Now if you don't have any blocks, please feel free to use the bigger pillow, because we are going to be moving back into the same pose we started this time with a little bit more elevation, so a deepened opening of the chest. Now we've been working towards this, so it should feel better than if we do it right at the beginning. Now if the pressure of the blocks is too much for you, also feel free to move back into the pose that we did in the beginning. For this final pose, the first block will be in line with the spine, and the block should kind of end where the shoulder blades end. Second block will be a pillow for your head. Then we are going to relax ourselves down and towards the first block, and then you can adjust the second block a little bit so it's nice and steady, nice and stable. And then here you can choose. Do you want to keep the knees together, feet wide, or do you want to extend the legs fully out? Taking a deep breath in here. And then allow the body to relax over the blocks. And again, see if you can use every inhale to open up slightly more. And every exhale to let go of anything that's still there, that's not yours. You don't need to carry on with you. And staying here for about 5 more deep breaths. And on your next exhale, slowly prop yourself back up on towards the forearms, moving the blocks aside. And then we're going to move into our final relaxation pose, Shavasana. So extending your legs out, letting the toes fall out towards the side, hands rest next to you, next towards the body. And from there, you can allow the body to sink down on towards the mat. And take note of what this practice did for you. How do you feel? These heart opening poses, it's really kind of a counter movement to what we do in daily life, all rounding forward. So it might feel counterintuitive, and it might feel vulnerable to move into these heart opening poses. So if you notice any sensations coming up, or any emotions coming up, or thoughts, know that it's really quite normal, and something you might like to pay a little bit extra attention to during the rest of the day. If you have time after the practice, grab your journal and write something down. These last few moments in Shavasana, we come back to ourselves. Now you can slowly start to find some small movement back into the body. Wiggling the fingers, the toes, rotating ankles and wrists, and allowing these movements to naturally grow bigger. And if there's any stretch you still feel like taking, take your time to do so now. Then we're gonna roll on towards the right side. And stay here for one more moment, just close towards yourself, but with your heart up and open to what the day will bring for you, maybe what the week will bring for you. And remaining with that open heart space. And then from there we make our way up into a nice comfortable seat of your own choice. Meeting with the hands in front of the heart. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. The light in me sees, honors, and recognizes the light within you. And from my heart to your heart, Namaste.